The United States is also signing our own bilateral agreements with the Congo and Rwanda that will unlock new opportunities for the United States to access critical minerals and provide economic benefits for everybody. And we'll be involved with sending some of our biggest and greatest companies over to the two countries. And we're going to take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money.
That's President Trump on another major peace deal between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The countries committing to work toward peace. Though fighting persists in the region, the deal could also provide U.S. access to each country's critical minerals. The president has made this a priority. President Trump signed rare earth deals with many countries in the last couple of months, including Malaysia, Australia, Thailand, Cambodia, Japan, and Ukraine. As the president continues to gain allies across the world as he pushes up against China and their dominance in this space, the Energy Department announcing a new $134 million funding push to expand America's rare earth supply and advance American energy independence. Joining me now is chemistry professor at Rice University, James Tour. James, it's good to have you this morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Maria.
And we talk all about this scramble for rare earth minerals. We need these rare earth minerals not just for our technology, but also for our military. You have another idea for how we can obtain more rare earths right here in the United States. Tell us your idea, James.
Yes, so we already have all of these elements here in the country. They're in our electronics, and traditionally what we've been doing is we finish with the electronics, we put them on barges, and we send them to Africa. But we can reuse them, we can recycle them. And so we've come up with a process that allows us to do this extremely rapidly, and we have all the elements here. The metals are infinitely recyclable, and we can just keep using them over and over again. We've shown that.
Well, I mean, this seems like a simple idea, James. I mean, we have so much technology. You look just over the last 10 years. I can't imagine how many rare earths are embedded in all of that technology. How come we're not doing that already?
Well, because it's traditionally been a messy process, and so we've committed this to other places like Africa, but it can be done in a different way. So we've developed a new technology called flash Joule heating that allows us to rapidly process these. And so this was a process that we had developed in 2018. We started using it to make a compound called graphene in 2020, and now we're able to use it to pull all these elements out of waste. So we can do it with the ores if we want to, but the amount of rare earth elements and other critical minerals, because it's not just the rare earth elements, it's other compounds that are needed as well: indium, gallium, tantalum, germanium. All of these are needed, and China is no longer selling this to us, so it restricts our personal cell phones and this sort of thing, but also our military. You have 4 tons of rare earth elements on a submarine. You'll have half a ton of rare earth elements on a fighter jet. So we really need to have these, and so we can pull it out of all these printed circuit boards that are being retired from data centers every 1 to 3 years. There's mountains of printed circuit boards. So rather than just sending them to China because they are considered a toxic waste, we just flash them, and we use almost no water, no acids, no bases, and in this process we just feed in chlorine and heat it up to several thousand degrees very quickly, and the rare earth elements start coming out, as well as all these other critical minerals, and we can separate them one from another in this process. So it's very rapid, and we're industrializing this and getting a lot of help actually from the administration to do this.
Wow, that is really fascinating, James. The truth is we have been hostage to the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, the Wall Street Journal a couple of weeks ago reported that, that China was going to stop sending rare earth minerals to any company in America that is tied to the U.S. military. Now we've got reports that China has issued its first batch of rare earth mineral export licenses to certain customers, fulfilling a key component of that trade deal with President Trump. But again, we don't know if they're going to flow it to any company tied to the U.S. military, which, by the way, is exactly where we need it. The U.S. and Europe are moving to increase and strengthen rare earth mineral supply and decrease dependence on China as well. James, how do you see this relationship and this hostage situation underway between the U.S. and China on this issue?
Well, people have always fought wars over minerals, over assets like this, oil, water, and minerals like this. And so the world is used to going to war over these things. That's how badly we need them. And so now we don't have to do that. And you saw with this deal with China, they agreed to send it. And then a week later, they said, oh, but it cannot be used in your military. So we have to have independence from this. The U.S. used to be in the business of doing all of this, but we offshored it. And because the mining operations were quite messy. But we don't need to do the mining operations. There's so much more in our electronic waste. There's 1,000 times higher concentration of these in our electronic waste than there is in the base ores. Plus, we don't have to ship these all over. They're already here. And so with this new technology, through this company, Metallium, we're just pushing this forward, and it's going to come online in January, just in a month and a half. It'll come online, and by September, we'll be processing 20 tons a day of printed circuit boards and reprocessing these metals. So this is what happens, actually, when any country restricts or makes it hard to get access to something, people find another way, and that's exactly what we are going to do.
Yeah, really fascinating stuff here because this is so important. President Trump has also, in many ways, monetized the U.S.'s balance sheet by taking stakes in certain companies, the U.S. taking a stake in MP, Mountain Pass, which, of course, is one of the few companies out there who can actually do the processing and refining that China has dominated.
Yes, that's correct. MP is one of the very few companies that can do this. There's others coming online, but this is a whole new process. This will process them far more quickly, and it works not off the ores like what MP is doing, but off the waste that's already here. And so that's what we hope to be able to do, and just change the whole paradigm on how we get these metals. And it's all of these critical metals that we need, and there's a lot of government support for this. President Trump isn't just hoping that this is going to happen. He's putting a lot of incentives to get companies, to get technology that can be brought online to address this.
Yeah, he sure is. James, it's a great idea. Thanks so much for joining us this morning with this. We'll keep following your work. Thank you, James Tor, joining us. Stay with us. Quick break. We'll be right back.